My anticipation built as the cab navigated the tropical Barbados coast, getting Tom and I closer to our dream vacation. We had scrimped and saved for years for this special getaway celebrating our 40th anniversary. I beamed over at Tom, heart swelling with love for my husband and excitement for the next chapter ahead. The driver helped with our bags at the charming beach cottage, then drove off after a brief call. Tom popped champagne, toasting the start of 2 blissful weeks of rest and romance. We took a sunset stroll on the beach, reminiscing happily about our journey together. Later on, palm fronds swayed outside the open bedroom window as I nuzzled into Tom's embrace. I felt utterly safe and relaxed, joyfully anticipating the days ahead. I drifted off picturing our toes in the sand and Tom's smile that always made my heart flutter. A loud crash startled me awake. Tom sat up whispering he thought intruders were breaking in. We stared wide-eyed at each other in the darkness, straining to hear over my escalating pulse. Then the unmistakable sound of heavy boots thudding down the hall shattered the silence. 2 masked men burst into the bedroom, machetes glinting. Tom yelled and lunged to shield me, but they forced him down, demanding money and jewelry. I screamed and sobbed, paralyzed in terror on the bed as they began brutally stabbing Tom when he insisted nothing valuable remained. The agony on his face as the blades tore into his flesh will forever be seared into my mind. Nausea washed over me as blood rapidly soaked the once white sheets crimson. Tom writhed in torture but somehow clung to life. The ruthless men stabbed again and again, intent on inflicting maximum anguish even with no loot left to take. Tom cried out my name, his voice cracking as body convulsed with each savage puncture of the rusty blades. I begged and pleaded with the merciless attackers to stop, but they only drove the knives deeper into my helpless husband. His wailing grew weaker, eyes rolling back as he teetered on the brink of death. The sounds of his agony are etched into my psyche. I felt powerless, failing the man I had vowed before God to protect. But the criminals had no interest in ending his suffering quickly. They twisted their weapons deeper into his ravaged abdomen, eliciting ghastly screams. Tom finally went limp, the spark of life vanishing from his eyes. My mind spun in disbelief and despair as the intruders debated killing me next. But they ultimately fled into the night, leaving my now mutilated and lifeless beloved behind. I desperately tried reviving him, collapsing onto his gory corpse, wailing. This was supposed to be our romantic escape, not the violent end to a beautiful life together. The weight of it all consumed me, his grotesque murder at the hands of such unmerciful evil. Police arrived to a horrifying scene. I recounted the barbarism through hysterical sobs, still drenched in the sticky evidence of Tom's gruesome fate. They determined robbery was not the motive at all. This was torture for sadistic amusement. I somehow boarded a plane home alone, haunted by visions of Tom's petrified eyes in those final moments. Our house now amplified my despair with traces of the happy life violently stolen from us. I spent nights writhing in emotional agony, imagining his wails that still echoed through my mind. Triggers lurked everywhere, stealing any fleeting sense of safety I regained. I would never be free from the horror of failing my precious Tom when he needed me most. But I found solace knowing we would one day reunite in a realm beyond the reach of such malevolent evil. Though they extinguished our earthly light too soon, our eternal flame burned brighter than ever.